Is it true that so long as you only use 1 second or less of a sample, you can put it in your song and you won't have any legal liability? I'm an attorney and I specialize in intellectual property and music and all the good things. So I'm going to answer this. Now, why do we care? Under the Copyright Act, it's 17 USC section 106. It talks about people who make music, they have exclusive rights to their songs. And then when it comes to sampling, it's like, why do we sample? Well, sampling is like obviously a really great way to show your creativity. I always think of Kanye West, I think of will.i.am and his Black Eyed Peas project, and just how these really talented artists and music producers will take from a very popular song and then create something that becomes a brand new hit. So it's a way to be creative. It's a way to pay homage to your favorite artists and producers. It's a way to make a repeat hit. So what is this 1 second rule that everyone has been talking about? I promise I've heard this so many times. And apparently I wasn't the only one. Budweiser, right? Massive beer brand, which is owned by parent company Anheuser-Busch InBev. Hopefully I said that right. Their marketing agency came together and said, we have this idea. We're going to use the 1 second rule. And so they did the 1 second ad campaign. Now, this was specific to TikTok because their philosophy was like, well, TikTok is such like a quick consumption platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus this on Brazil and we're going to briefly use clips from popular songs. So they use popular songs from Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Queen, the Beatles. And they did all of this without licensing anything. And what was amazing is that this was a massive success. So this thing in 2 weeks did something like 68 million impressions. So it was a huge hit, a huge success. And then they took their campaign and they entered it into the Cannes Lions Festival. So this is like the Oscars of advertising. So they went up in front of their other advertising peers and they go, this is what we did. And they kind of gave themselves a little pat on the back. And the Budweiser's team specifically was like, we did this for $0. And funny enough, they won. They won the top award. And even the festival itself used them as a case study. They're like, they were praised for their efficiency. So fast forward 2 seconds and cue the massive backlash that happened and came from the music and licensing professionals just being like, what do you mean this 1 second rule? That's not a thing. And so initially there was just a lot of backlash happening, but the update as of today is that Sony Music Publishing actually filed a strike on the YouTube version, and they're saying, no, this is not something that you can do. There's no such thing as the 1 second rule. And I thought this was an interesting comparison, just being what like Budweiser really aggressively defends its trademark, right? And so it's not going to tolerate someone coming and taking its trademark and using it in their commercial for 1 second or any amount of time. And so the comment being like, well, what if musicians came and used the trademark and logo for 1 second or less? Is that okay? Probably not. Now, since the backlash, the parent company has been just apologizing profusely. And for me, as an IP attorney, I'm just like waiting for the lawsuit to come down the pipeline because of just the mass scale infringement that happened. Now, what I can tell you, because I am literally on the phone with Universal and their teams and Sony Music Publishing, actually, all in the last couple of weeks, and oftentimes there is a desire to work out a solution to put licenses into place, even retroactively, which is likely what's happening here. But again, we go back to so many people probably need to get fired at this point. And whoever came up with the campaign in the first place, and that this was not caught, didn't go through some kind of legal compliance, because sync licensing, right? Getting a license for the music in your commercial, in your social media content, standard practice, but someone had the idea of this 1 second rule. So this is how powerful, I should say, that this myth is that doesn't exist, and how expensive it's going to be, because I can tell you that to license one of these songs, it can go up to $50,000. And often the licensor, the record label, is not going to be like, you only used it for 1 second or 30 seconds, right? It's going to be a moving target in the negotiations. And so from a PR standpoint, they are trying to do some cleanup work as of now. From the legal standpoint, I'm waiting for the lawsuit if they don't end up getting this kind of resolved and settled, and they're going to have to pay licensing fees. And from my standpoint, I go, well, the parent company, the marketing agency, Budweiser, Cannes Lions, they're all looking real dumb at this point. But I'm curious, before watching this video, did you think that the 1 second rule was a real thing? Sometimes when something is said so many times, people believe it to be true, and that can be scary. So leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Top Music Attorney. I'll see you on the next one.